Hey, so I want to take another look at Visa. Last time we looked at them was on June 8th, so roughly a month and 10 days ago was the last time we looked at them. Uh, I did come across some news articles, so I want to cover just what they've been up to over that time period, about a month, and then we'll shift into the technical analysis, see uh, if it's a good time to buy or not. So let's just go into the news here. So the first thing that we have, and again, we're going to go from starting back in June, and then as we continue along, we'll get to the present day. So at the top, we have Visa unveils this accelerator program to boost African startups. So it provides opportunities for participating startups to boost business scale. This is just a Visa's way of getting into Africa. So they're expanding. Seems like a good move. You want to get into other countries. So great, good idea. Next, they appointed a new CFO. This CFO, I believe, is coming from Electronic Arts. So he's this shouldn't be much different in terms of work volume. Not sure how much that would play an impact because clearly they sell different things, but overall, I'm sure he's qualified. He's worked at a big company before. This one's probably a little bigger, uh, but hey, that's their guy. So that's new. Visa and Hyundai Card ink a strategic global data partnership. So Hyundai Card is a leading credit card company in Korea, and they announced a strategic business partnership with Visa. Visa, they're looking to expand into Korea. Um, or no, what Hyundai Card? They're going to provide Visa um, data analytics. I'm not sure what Hyundai Card has in terms of really just data analytics that Visa doesn't have, but uh, that's kind of the trade. Hyundai Card is going to give Visa some insights, and uh, in return, Hyundai Inc. is going to get exposure to, I guess, more customers, maybe get a better understanding of what a big client like Visa is doing compared to Hyundai Card. Uh, Hyundai Card is new to me, so for all I know, these are very equal companies in terms of dollar value. It's just never heard of the Hyundai Card because they're a Korea company. If you're familiar with them and can kind of add some insight, that'd be very helpful for me and others. And then uh, again, Visa and Hyundai Card unite to provide data driven solutions, opportunities in gaining valuable insights from payment data. Uh, just another way to put what I was saying earlier. So next, Visa champions women's success with new campaign for FIFA Women's World Cup Australia and New Zealand 2023. So this is, we'll just continue along, launching a Behind Every Number. There's a story campaign timed around the upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup. So this, to me, this just sounds like advertisement to soccer fans, women's soccer fans. So, and I guess their spin is it's also going to help women's empowerment. Uh, and that kind of leads into the second thing, how it says Visa, there's going to be a Visa Player of the Match. So they're sponsoring something like 50 matches or something. I don't know how many there are, but around 50. And they're, for whoever is this Player of the Match, they're going to deliver a win for women owned businesses at FIFA. Um, how that's going to play out is whoever this Player of the Match is, uh, I guess it's somehow this player is going to be linked to a woman's business, or maybe that player has a woman owned business in mind. And what Visa plans to do for every player of the match, they're going to give a woman owned business between 500,000 and $1 million in grant funding. Again, for like 50 of these women-owned businesses. Again, there's some kind of link here, but so they're going to have their ads, of course, and then they're also going to do this very helpful thing, I'm sure, to a lot of these, I would imagine, smaller businesses, less than $1 billion. So sounds like a good idea. We'll see how that plays out, of course. Next, we have Visa wants to join forces with SAP to make enterprise payments more efficient. They entered into a collaboration with SAP to streamline and simplify business to business payments for enterprises, small to big. So, SAP, in all honesty, I don't. Uh, I'm not understanding the correlation here, but I guess in terms of the way I understand it is, I guess SAP works with a lot of businesses, and Visa, I guess, works with dominantly users like me, just like an individual. And so they want to work with SAP to try to get more business to business clients. Um, so again, I'm not understanding how the pieces are going to work at this time. Feel free to add insight if you can. Uh, but yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Like I can understand the end result. I'm just not sure what's kind of being traded. If it's just Visa's getting insights, but what's SAP getting? Um, some we can look into. So again, if you can add any insight to that, be very helpful. But moving along, so we have Chinese payment giants revive effort to accept foreign credit cards. Chinese tech giants like Tencent Holding and Ant Group said that they would allow users to link international credit cards to their platforms. This has been plagued. This has long plagued foreign visitors. So this is apparently they don't accept Visa or Mastercard in China. They were working on it. I think Mastercard just recently broke through on Alipay. Visa has not, but here we have some of these other companies, Tencent and Ant Group, who are trying to get that push to allow both of those card users, but in this case, to allow Visa to make payments for people like us in America that have Visa. Um, the reason this apparently was supposed to happen a couple of years ago, and then the whole COVID thing, I don't know. China did this lockdown, which more or less stopped this deal from going through, but now they're making a big push to make it happen now. Uh, okay, so we had another headline here with Visa and SAP. So Visa partners with SAP to bridge working capital gaps in supply chains of businesses and enabling faster payments. Okay, so I hopefully that's kind of summing it up what I said earlier, to bridge working capital gaps of supply chains of businesses. Like, okay, okay, we'll continue to look into that one. This was interesting. So Visa bought out Brazil's Pismo, Pismo, for $1 billion. Visa agreed to acquire the Brazilian fintech platform Pismo for $1 billion in cash, and this, of course, is going to help expand into Latin America. So again, more expansion. I'm liking the sound of this, in all honesty. Uh, this is the largest fintech exit in Latin America since Nubank, which was just a couple years ago in 2021. So okay, uh, again, Visa to acquire Pismo, a cloud-native issuer processing and core banking platform. The banking platform kind of has me curious of, is that just going to get scrapped, or is Visa trying to become a bank in a sense? Haven't heard that, but just kind of makes me wonder. Visa is going to announce their third quarter 2023 financial results in about a week after close, so we'll check that out. In terms of the earnings, will Visa beat estimates again in its next earnings report? So for the last two quarters, and we're here in this kind of in the center here, the last reported quarter, They had earnings of 209. The estimates were saying 197, so they beat last quarter. The quarter before that, they expected $2.01 or 1 cent, and they produced earnings of $2.18. So they beat 2 times in a row. Are they going to beat for the third? We'll find out in about a week. Whoops. Visa is caught in a price target hike from this Moffett Nathanson for valuation. Not familiar with that, but again, this is one of these analysts that I would assume know a lot more than us. But he says Visa is relatively cheap. According to analysts at Moffett Nathanson, they raised its price targets for Visa. The price target on Visa to $320 from $290. So just let's just take a look. So right now it's actually trading at $240. A little sneak peek there. So he's saying even further. Wow. Okay. So a lot of potential here in his eyes. Let's go here. This is the last piece before we pivot over. So apparently some insiders at Visa sold $24 million in stock. The chart below shows the breakdown in terms of when it was sold. It doesn't say who, but from between now and the past 3 months, apparently about 12, 13 million was sold between 3 months to 6 months, another 2 million, and in total in the past 9 months, about 24 million. I mean, we don't know. Maybe they just needed the cash. Maybe they were buying a property, or who knows? Like, I wouldn't put too much stress. And again, the market cap on this company is like $500 billion, so 24 million. I realize it's on the inside. I guess I'd be curious to know how much inside volume is capable of being traded. So like, was that 24 million out of $1 billion of insider shares? If that's the case, then this is nothing. But if it's 24 of like 50, even then, like I said, the market cap is so huge on Visa. 24 million, that's not changing me one way or another. But let's pivot into again, last time we looked at Visa, and we're going to pivot to the technicals. So right now, or currently, last time we looked on June 8th, it was trading for 223. We had a buy point marked at 193 and resistance at 231. So clearly we were closer to resistance of that 231, about $8 compared to, we would have wanted this one to drop $30. So we'll see if those figures need to be updated. And then the note that we left ourselves is it's been in an uptrend since October of 2022, consolidating between 193 and 231. That happens to be our buy and resistance points since August of 2020. So let's take a look at the chart, and let me just push this off to the side. So right off the bat, let me just find last time we checked in, which was right here. So it's interesting that I said not to buy this one. So I do understand, based on the note that we put down for ourselves. So 6/8, again, 223. So it was at like the bottom. So it must have found some sort of support here. I think what's happening is this is the trend. We need to be paying attention more to this trend right now. What we ultimately decided is we wanted to look at these horizontal lines, and that's why we have resistance at 231 all the way down to 193, which is this green line, this top green line. There's two here. This is the top one. And it looks like we said it's been trading between that range since when? In an uptrend, or consolidating since August of 2020. So we're saying it's been doing that since here for the most part. Yes, there was a dip below, um, a couple dips below, and yes, we had this peak here, and we had a recent testing of it, but it got rejected. So I think that's, I mean, I know that's what we were doing. We were thinking conservative, and we lost out just a little bit. But here we are again. We have another opportunity to choose, is this one going to continue upward? I think based on that analyst saying, yes, this one is, based on those expansion ideas into potentially China and say like the end of the year, next year, but definitely Latin America and Africa, women's business, that'll get their name out there a little more, especially in those countries like New Zealand where that World Cup is. Uh, a lot of opportunity. It looks good. They beat in their past reports. I think this one will keep going higher. Let's see though. Current PE is 32. I guess that's not bad. Um, but in terms of the technical, yeah, so we're at the bottom of the channel. It looks like this channel is going to continue to ride. Of course, I could see if the earnings come out and they miss. If they were expecting $2 and they put out $1.50, yeah, that'd kind of be a surprise. But I'm not seeing anything that would tell me that they wouldn't just at least match what's expected. Because we have this on the screen, let's take a quick look. Um, where is it? So they're projecting 188. We'll find out soon enough. But they beat 4 times in a row, actually. So I expect them to do the same. Why would this be any different? Um, so yeah, I'm comfortable with this one, buying in at this point. Do I wish I could have bought at 223 because that was probably the last like consolidation period? Sure, but the fact that it pulled back is still at the bottom of the channel. Uh, you just got to roll with it. So let's just update it. So it went from 223, and again, so we came from down here about 223. We're now at 240, and in terms of a buy point for me, I'm officially on board with the uptrend. I think this uptrend, I am going to keep. Um, yeah, you know what? I'll remove it. So I'm going to remove that consolidation trend. Um, eh, I guess I'll leave it in for a little bit longer. Probably August. If things keep continuing upward, next time we look at this in August after the financial statements, I'll take it out. But for right now, we'll leave it in. But for me, a buy point at this stage would be 241. And what I've been doing with some of the other, it's always tricky when it's in new highs. So what I'm going to try to do is stretch this out till just next month, which is right around here. That actually takes us out 2 months. The trouble is the top. Okay, so let's grab this and let's pull that out. We'll just pull it out till October. I'll extend this one out till there too. About, whoop, is that right? Draw it down a little bit maybe. So this looks like it's the trend it's on. Looking back, it's done this before. I guess that's good. It can definitely do this. It had this type of growth back in 2018, even in 2017. Is this making it bigger? Let's pull it back. Let's pull it back. Yeah, I mean, this is actually, this is believable. It has this type of growth potential. It ran like this from 2016 up to 2018. 2 years it ran like that. Had this pullback. Then again from 2019 to 2020, about a year, had a good run, had a major pullback there, but then again rallied from 2020 up to 21. The rallies aren't as long, but each time it's like going higher. So this one clearly looks like it's going to go higher. It started back in October. I would imagine we have it a year unless something goes wrong. Maybe this would be a 2-year run. Then it'll have a deep crash or a crash that's noticeable. I mean, this one's kind of noticeable. Even if we zoom out, I mean, that's pretty noticeable. Yeah, I think this one, I like this one. I think this one's going to start running. So let's just get in this one. So let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay, it's a little bit different. Let me try to fix it. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so going back to the original question. So where would I like to buy this? So right off the bat, I want to look at 1 month out because that's probably around when we're going to look at this. 1 month out at the bottom of the channel is 247. So I'm just going to say the bottom of the channel is 247. I'd be looking to buy at that point or less. I think that's fair. And then since this uptrend seems to be playing out, if we just go to the top of the uptrend for about a month, 272 is the top of the channel. So if it got to there, and again, we have to like pull it back. So if I was going to look at this next week, I'd be more specific and say, if this one pulled back to 240, which it happens to be at, yes, I'm going to buy. So again, if it was 247 or less, I'm going to add this one. So I am going to make this green. I will do that, and I'll share a recap here shortly. Resistance, like today, if I was looking at it, 265, we put down 272, again, just to kind of estimate. So really resistance is like 265 right now, and just each week it'll just add like $1, $2 to that to get to 272. We'll update today's date there. Note in an uptrend since September of 22. Yes, that's still playing out, consolidating between 193 and 231 since August of 2020. I'm going to keep that in for one more video. If this uptrend continues, we pass the previous all-time highs, yeah, I will take that out, and we'll just keep that uptrend intact. So I guess I'm not going to say buy the dips yet, but yeah, that wraps this one up. So here we have a quick recap. So Visa, I updated that to green. I believe it was red before. So I believe this one is a good buy point. I'm going to probably pursue this one tomorrow. Buy point, again, projecting out. The bottom of the channel of that uptrend is like 240 right now, and probably for this week really, and then for the next like next week it's going to be probably around 242. The week after that 244, all the way up to when I imagine I'm going to touch base on this again around mid-August. That'll be 247. So if it's below there between now and August 15th roughly, it's probably a pretty good deal in the long run. And resistance would be, I believe this week it's like 265, and it'll, same as with the buy point, it'll just inch up to 272. So if you're in that 265 to 272 range, I'd probably stay away. But so hopefully that makes sense. And again, it's been in this uptrend. This is the note. It's been in the uptrend since September of 2022, consolidating between 193 and 231 since August of 2020. So I do believe the uptrend is going to turn out to be the dominant one, hopefully for about another year. That seems like a pattern that's been happening. But we're keeping in that consolidation just to see if to see which one wins here, because we are at that point where one's going to be the winner here. But that wraps it up. So if you have any questions you want to ask, feel free to do so. Or if you want to add anything that you saw that I didn't cover that you want to share, feel free to do that. I'd be happy to read it. But again, that wraps this up. So please like, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.